Hey y'all, welcome back to episode 4 of Topics and Tea with your girl Nah. And if you are new to this channel, welcome. If you have been watching me since episode 1, thank you for returning. Thank you for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend. Make sure y'all pressing that notification bell. I know I haven't been saying it before, but make sure y'all pressing that notification bell so y'all can be notified every time I post a video. So today's episode is going to be about therapy. Why don't we seek a therapist? Why don't we use a therapist? Why is that not normalized? Why is that not talked about in our household? And when I say our, I'm talking about us. Why don't we seek therapy? So I know for me, again, I'm always going to talk about stuff that I'll tell y'all all the time. I'm always going to talk about stuff that I've personally been through or I've experienced or I've had a personal connection with it. So for me, I just feel like it's never been brought up in my household. Like whatever we go through, we just never talk about it and we just get through it. We have like a big family blowout. We don't talk about it. We just let days go by and then we come back at the next family gathering. If something happened on Halloween, we won't talk about it at all. We'll wait till we see each other again on Thanksgiving. And then we act like nothing ever happened. But why though? Like why don't we seek therapy? Or if something traumatic happens, it's always the same. I'm not sure if y'all know it, but what goes on in his house stays in his house. Sometimes it's the things that's happening in the house that's causing you all of these mental issues and all of these insecurities and all of these problems in your life, and you have nobody to talk to outside of the house because your mom or your family is telling you whatever happens in his house stays in his house. And that's been something that I've been told a million times. Like, oh, it's his family business. We don't need to seek nobody. What I need to seek, what do they say? What do I need to speak to a shrink for? I'm not crazy. That's another one. I'm not crazy, but I've learned, like, it's not about you being crazy. Sometimes you do need to speak to somebody that can basically be on the outside looking in and help you get a better understanding of whatever it is that you're going through. Whether it had been child abuse, whether it's been mental issues, whether it's going through something traumatic in your life, a heartbreak, a life coach, somebody to talk to outside of the people in your home. However, like I said, it's very hard to be brought up because therapists are not, and not to say that everyone is like this. I'm not saying that everyone has this issue, but again, I'm talking based off of what I've experienced, and therapy has a bad name in certain households. They think of it as being somewhere to go to tell someone all your business as opposed to just getting help for something that can make you better. I personally have been to a therapist several times. I would recommend it to anybody, 110%. If you're going through something or you just need somebody to talk to and you feel like you want to go to a place where you won't be judged and you won't feel like you're being put up against a wall and being asked a million questions and it's not being like you're not being heard, I would definitely recommend seeing a therapist, seeing a counselor, seeing somebody that is not in your friend group, that is not in your family, that can definitely give you insight and went to school and actually studied what your issues are. Come on, y'all know what this is, so don't ask. However, I felt like I came out a whole lot better than I went in. After having my son, my anxiety was through the roof. Like I could not like let him go to nobody's house without being anxious. I couldn't be away from him for long periods of time without being anxious. My son is about to be 4 years old. He's never stayed away from me for longer than a day. And even within that 24-hour time span, I'm calling several times like, what you doing? I've gotten a lot better after speaking to my therapist and speaking to them several times and trying to just get an understanding on where things come from, because we go through things in life and we grow up thinking that whatever we're going through has something to do with that present day. Like if we're an adult going through something, whatever we're going through has something to do with our adult life. With me going to a therapist and speaking to somebody, I've realized a lot of my anxiety, a lot of my problems, a lot of my issues come from childhood traumas, which I'm going to talk about in the next episode. But I would have not known that had I not went to speak to somebody that was able to let me know. Like I was diagnosed with PTSD, and like I'm like, what? Like what? I would have never known that had I not spoke to somebody. And all of this transpired and heightened after I had my son because of things that happened in my childhood. But I'm thinking that it's just something that I'm just going through as an adult. I just got to get through it because the people I was talking to never had spoke to someone professionally. So they're telling me like, time will pass. But everybody's situation and everybody's circumstances are different. So never limit your, what can I say? Never limit your expectations. Never try to downplay your feelings or getting the help. Just expose yourself to something new. If you haven't heard it ever, again, I'm here to tell you, always expose yourself and get an experience. If you do go see a therapist and you don't like it, you can't lose nothing from it. Most insurances do pay for it. I went through my insurance. Luckily, my job, I'm able to speak to someone for free. My job offers it because they see how important it is. But if you go through your insurance, most insurances offer it. If they don't, they have like financial plans. I know before I got this job, I was going through a therapist where I was able to make like payments each time I went. But if your insurance don't cover it, I can give you guys some information on seeking therapy, therapists and programs that can help you with financial assistance with speaking with someone. But you don't have to feel like you have to keep all your thoughts in here. It's best to get them out, because the more that you keep them here and here, it builds and it bottles up, and it keeps building and building until you explode. And now you're in a place where you're like, dang, I should have just spoke to somebody and let this out. I shouldn't have been harboring so much, because you don't realize how much you're holding on to until you're in someone's presence and you're spilling everything, and it's just literally exploding and it's just overpouring. So don't feel like you shouldn't seek something because it wasn't talked about in your household. Again, like I said in the beginning, therapy was never talked about. We don't talk about our problems in my family. Like, you get through it. We don't talk about it for days. We don't see each other for days. And then when we come back to, our family next big event or our next gathering, we act like nothing never happened, and it still goes unspoken of. And I feel like it's damaging our family relationships because it's not being talked about. Because now when we're in a big family setting and we're all trying to get along and act like nothing happened, it's still a big elephant in the room, because this happened the last time and it was never talked about. So now we got these two family members talking about it because they don't really know what happened, but they want to know what happened. You got the two that did have the altercation or did have the disagreement, so they're trying to stay away from each other but side-eyeing each other. It's just a big confusion that it does. Like, for what? Like, why not just get the help? And I even feel like if I can get all of my family to go to therapy and counseling, it'll probably open up Pandora's box. But at the same time, I feel like a lot will be hashed out, a lot will be discussed, a lot will be resolved, and we will be able to get down to the bottom of a lot of different generational things that can help generations to come. My son's kids, my son's kids. Like, I feel like it will help them because we didn't have the opportunity to correct it and get it right. So I feel like my main focus would be to try to get my family to understand speaking to somebody is necessary. My father, my mother, my grandmother, they grew up in an era where that wasn't even a thing to even bring up. They had no time for that. Like, my father's been an adult since he was 12, literally. So it's like, he doesn't feel like he ever needs to speak to somebody. Even talking to me, sometimes I have to be the parent. I'm like, Dad, like, listen, you got to talk to somebody. I don't need to talk to somebody for what? Like, I don't need to do this. I'm like, it helps for you to talk to somebody. Like, you can't keep all of, like, my father has dealt with a lot. And I'm talking about him in particular because he's, like I said, been an adult since he was 12. So he's done a lot. He's seen a lot. But he's never spoken to anybody about it because he just feels like he is just King Kong when it comes to handling problems. And it's like, I understand that, but as you get older, your mind changes, things shift. Another thing, it's always been a myth, like, not even a myth. Like, growing up, I was always told, like, therapy, that's white people stuff. But who said that? Like, who said that's white people stuff? Therapy is all people stuff. Don't ever let no one brainwash you thinking that, oh, that's white people stuff. Or black people don't do that. I've heard that a million times too. Black people don't do that. That's not our thing. What is our thing? Like, what is our thing? What works for you works for you. Don't allow anyone to tell you, oh, that's white people doing that. Like, who said that? Like, who invented that? Who invented that line? And then you grow up believing it, and now that makes you not want to do it even more because you're like, oh, that's white people. So we get through our problems. Like, we strong. We gotta get through it. Like, I gotta get through anything. I can get through it on my own. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing. Who told you that? Who says that even the strongest can't be broken and need help sometimes. Because it's not displayed and you don't see it all the time, I'm pretty sure those same strong people that say they don't need nobody and they can do everything on their own, I can guarantee you that they're probably, when they go home and they're alone and it's time to go to bed at night, they have a million things running through their head and they can't unload and they can't unpack it because they don't have nobody to talk to. So make sure each perspective that you're giving and that you're taking, that it's something that you can relate to, because I don't think therapy is white people stuff. I don't think it's a black thing. I think it's all people's thing. If it's something, or it's something major and traumatic that you went through in your life, I think that you should talk to somebody. And I'm going to say it a million times, I would recommend therapy to anybody. I don't care what color you are, white, black, yellow, green. Therapy is for everybody. It's not about what's on the outside. It's all here. It's all mental. And I feel like it's something that will definitely help anybody that has no outlet, that has nobody to talk to, that has been through some things and feel like they need to unpack but don't want to be judged. Because sometimes, even though you have those friends that won't judge, you have that circle that you feel completely comfortable in, sometimes you want to go get a second opinion. You want to speak to somebody that has been to school, that has degrees to properly help and assist and assess you in each area that you feel like you need help in. So don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to get help. Why do you feel like getting help shows a sign of weakness when it's not? I feel like when you have that, taking that step, that first step to saying, I need help, that shows growth and strength for me. If I meet somebody and they say, look, I'm not doing good in this area, I feel like I need help in this area. To me, that shows strength. That's the strongest thing you can ever do, is admit to me that you need help. And I have absolutely no problem seeing somebody for who they are, which is getting help and doing the right things to make you better. Going through life without knowing and not knowing how to handle certain things and having these major blow-ups and doing the same things you were doing at 21, at 45, it's not a good look. So you want to know how to navigate different situations. If you're being put up against something, you want to know how to get out of that. So make sure y'all doing and taking the proper steps to be mentally okay. After COVID, I'm pretty sure we all needed a refresher, especially the ones that have the little kids, the toddlers with all of these energies, or the single parents, or the families that don't really talk, but now because it's COVID, we stuck in a big old house together because that's all we have. Nobody can go to work, nobody can move around. So now you stuck being around people you really don't want to be around. You get what I'm saying? I feel like this is a time where you can definitely utilize that and make sure you're taking advantage of it, because it is something that needs to be done. Make sure y'all staying in tune with what y'all have going on. Please make sure that y'all taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually, because at a time like this and after COVID, you need to be in tune with every aspect and every area of yourself, whether you're male or female. You need to be in tune and be connected. I know a lot of males that I've grew up with, they thugs and they gangster and they've been in the streets most of their life, so you can't pay them to talk to somebody. But if I can just get one, I tell my brothers all the time that I grew up with, like, yo, y'all be safe, make sure y'all talking to somebody. I ask them a million questions. I'm always in their business. I want to know everything. I'm always in their business all the time. And it's only because, like, I love them. And if I can implement some of the things that I want to speak into my therapist with them or with their relationship, or try to make them a better person, I'm going to do just that, because I want to see everybody. I want to see all of my loved ones win. I want to see everybody win. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing or what business you have or what mental issues you've been going through. Everybody's different in their own right. But I want to see everybody win. And that's the main goal here. And I think that's the end goal for everybody. So guys, do not be afraid to seek help, seek counseling. Whether, like I said, even if you just go one time, get the experience. It may really change your outlook on things and how you handle different things. I've learned that going to therapy, I was able to take some techniques and write some things down that help me now. I'm able to process things. I'm able to be a lot calmer when I talk to people. I'm able to deliver things differently, as opposed to just blurting stuff out and hurting somebody's feelings or not caring what I say or not caring what I do. I'm now able to sit and think and analyze, like, okay, if I say this, how would that affect this person? Or if I treat my son this way, how would that affect him in the long run? Or if I say something this way, how would that change the outlook on this? So I'm able to look at things from a different perspective by just speaking to somebody and getting that extra help. I just want to thank y'all for watching this video. I'm just going to say this last thing. I say this all the time. If I can help one person accomplish something, I've done my job here, and that's all I'm here to do. I thank y'all for watching Topics and Tea with Nah. Episode 5 will be on its way every Monday. Y'all know I'm posting a video every Monday. I'm gonna try to definitely stay on top of things and definitely talk about topics that interest you guys. If y'all have any ideas, I say it all the time, DM me, write a comment, hit me up. Like, I'm always open. Make sure y'all well, I said that twice. Make sure y'all are liking, commenting, subscribing to my channel. Y'all see my social medias on the screen. I like to put it down here. So make sure y'all follow my social medias down here at the screen. And thank you again. Make sure y'all remember you are appreciated. Peace and love, y'all.